And the way that I'm gonna teach you how to do it is by tricking your mind, more so your subconscious mind. And the way that you're gonna do it is by something that is known as the freshness factor. Welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel, and the focus of this channel is to teach you simple, easy, and sustainable lifestyle and dietary habit changes that make a big difference with your weight loss, body transformation, or health goals, regardless of the approach that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, weight loss or body transformation goals are achieved through small habit changes, not suffering through dieting. Accountability, like habits, is the metaphorical glue that holds your weight loss goals from falling apart and from you reversing back into your old negative bad habits. But the truth is, self-accountability with weight loss is just simply easier said than done. Telling somebody to just be more accountable with themselves is kind of like when somebody tells you to be more confident. And I don't know about you, but in the past when somebody's just told me be more confident, it's almost insulting, it's kind of condescending, and it's kind of like, well, no shit, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to be more confident for this thing, and in this case, I'm sure you know that, yeah, of course, I know I have to be more self-accountable, but how do I do that? And you know, self-accountability is not just a switch that you can turn on and off. It's not just you turn it on and then you're accountable, and then you turn it off and then you stop being accountable. But it's the latter one is almost more true, because yeah, you can stop being accountable one day, but to build that accountability, it's a little bit harder. But it is something that you can build and strengthen and fortify over time. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can do that, how you can learn to be more self-accountable. Now, normally what I would say is, in this particular case, go hire an awesome coach like me to teach you to be somebody that can, you know, push you to be more accountable, somebody that you can report to. Now, although that is a great idea, and if this is your first time trying to lose weight, or your second time, or if you've struggled, I would highly recommend that you hire somebody. But at the end of the day, you also have to learn self-accountability, because at the end of the day, the person that's gonna achieve your goals is you, not somebody else. So again, how can you learn to be a little bit more self-accountable, or not just a little bit, but how can you build that self-accountability, you know, those self-accountability muscles or mindset over time? And the way that I'm gonna teach you how to do it is by tricking your mind, more so your subconscious mind. And the way that you're gonna do it is by something that is known as the freshness factor. Now, if you've never heard of the freshness factor, I don't blame you, it's because I just made that term up. But there's also a similar term in psychology known as the recency bias. And if you don't know what that is, or even if I'm kind of explaining it wrong, let me give you an example of what I mean by the freshness factor or the recency bias. When you first start trying to lose weight, regardless of the approach that you're doing, regardless of how terrible the approach is, how much hard work you have to put in, how bad the diet is in the sense that you're suffering, making a lot of sacrifices, it doesn't matter, because your goal, your motivation levels are fresh, they're brand new. So you're willing to put yourself through almost anything in the beginning stages. And if you've been in this situation, I'm sure that you can relate. And so what happens? 3 weeks happen, 4 weeks happen. Sometimes some people make it up to 6 weeks. And you start to get busy, you start to be on autopilot, and you're not that targeted mindset that you had towards your goal just starts to kind of like be in the background. And if you think about it, it's not that you're busier, it's not that you're less motivated, it's just that you lose the freshness of that motivation. So what we're trying to do here is the way that we keep you self-accountable is by keeping that freshness factor alive at all times, all the way until you reach your goal. And the way that you're gonna do that is by having constant visual reminders. And there's 2 ways that you're gonna do this, and you need to start applying these today. So the first visual reminder is gonna be to set up a background picture on your phone that reminds you of your goal. But it's not just as simple as just having something that reminds you of your goal. So let me help you a little bit more so that you can have the most optimal and effective picture in your phone. Because many times when I tell people put something that reminds you of that, sometimes they'll put something that will remind them of that goal, again, for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, so they keep that freshness factor. But ultimately what ends up happening is they just look at their phone and it just becomes autopilot because they see the same picture without remembering the significance of it. So let me guide you on how to find the best type of picture for your phone. Usually when people try to lose weight and they try to get healthy, it's because of two reasons. Now, I may be overgeneralizing here, but it usually comes down to two reasons. The first one is vanity / confidence, and the second one is health. So let's use vanity and confidence first, then we can go to health. Let's assume that you're a guy and you're trying to lose weight because you want to feel more confident. Now, normally, what most guys would say is, well, I'm gonna put a picture of the ideal body that I want in the screenshot of my phone or the background picture of my phone to remind me of that's what I want to look like. But you need to go further than that. Why is it important that you have that particular body image if that's what you're going for? Why is it important for you to lose an extra 40 pounds? And for most guys, I can guarantee it's gonna be because they wanna be able to attract more women. So instead of putting a picture of the ideal body that you're going for, go put a picture of your ideal girl that you wanna attract. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form saying that you can't attract anybody with the way that you look, but it's more of that internal belief that, when you have that confidence, you're gonna be able to believe that you can do it. So that's a different topic, of course, but by having that confidence, you're gonna be able to believe that you can do it because you've transformed your body, you're gonna feel better within yourself. Same with women. What I hear a lot many times when it comes to the vanity or confidence is that I wanna fit into a size X or whatever. And so many times it's not so much that they wanna fit into that specific number, but it's that number reminds them of a time when they were most confident. Perhaps it was their college days or 5 years ago, whatever. So it's usually something more significant. So you need to find a picture that is going to be visually stimulating. Not if you think of something that could be visually stimulating, I want you to take it one step further and think, is there something that is going to be even more appealing? Is there something more to this than just that picture? Because that's the picture that you want to put in there so that you're constantly looking at it, so that you have that visual reminder at all times. Now, when it comes to health, so again, then the two can be intertwined, by the way. I'm not saying that you can just do one or the other, but sometimes people want to be confident and they want to be healthy too at the same time. For health, one of the things that I hear a lot is, I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be able to make sure that I live as long as possible, if it's within my control, of course. And so the motivation is health and living longer. So in this case, it could be a picture of their kids, on their phone. Many people already have that, but again, it's just a reminder to have that visual reminder. If your health goal is because you want to be able to feel more energetic to go hiking with your significant other, because your significant other is very active, then put a picture of a couple going hiking on your phone so that you can have that visual reminder, so you can have that burn inside of you, that motivation, that flame never dying out. It's always there. You always have that reminder. So my challenge to you here is, because I can't tell you exactly what that image is going to be for you, but you need to, if you think you find a picture, challenge it and see if you can go a little bit further when it comes to an emotional pull. And the second visual reminder, it's pretty simple. It's visualization right before going to bed and right after waking up. And I'm willing to bet that this is where I'm gonna lose a lot of you, because many of you have probably heard of this concept of visualization or even the law of attraction and are quick to dismiss it and say, well, yeah, that's just wishful thinking. I'm not just gonna get to my goal by visualizing and thinking about it. You're wrong. You actually can. And it's not so much that the wishful thinking is powerful or that you visualizing is magically gonna make you lose 20 pounds, but it has to do, whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, whether you believe that thoughts become things or not, that's a different topic, but it keeps that freshness factor fresh in your mind. It just keeps you constantly motivated, whether that's true or not. It's like if you wake up, if you go to bed, with that feeling of, this is what I'm gonna look like 6 months from now, and you have that emotion, that elatedness, that happiness, and you're going to bed just visualizing, this is what I'm gonna look like, this is what I want to look like, this is how I want to feel, these are the things that I'm gonna do when I feel more confident, when I feel happier, when I feel healthier. When you wake up in the morning and then you reinforce that with another 5 minutes of visualizing, you're just gonna have that motivation up high at all times, and there's just no way for you to, in a sense, slack on the things that you're supposed to do. And before you know it, if you keep up with this habit, I would challenge you to do both of these constantly. I mean, don't stop doing it, but I would just give it a try for 30 days. The changes you're gonna see are gonna be out of this world. Unbelievable. Your motivation levels are always gonna be high. You're even gonna notice like little changes within your behavior. Like if you're at let's say at a Christmas party or something, and you have a donut, which is fine, but then somebody's offering you more, junk food or things that you're not supposed to, you're gonna have that conviction and that motivation to say, you know what, no, I'm good, I'll be okay till I get home. Whereas before, you're not gonna have it, because it's like I talked at the very beginning of the video, when you start a new diet and when the freshness factor is fresh, your motivation levels are high, you're willing to almost do anything. And then compare that to 5-6 weeks later when you're on autopilot, like, yeah, I'm doing this diet, but then you kind of don't care if you fall off of it or whatever. But if you have that freshness factor, you're gonna keep that flame inside of you alive, and you're always gonna be constantly motivated. So try those two things. So the first one is make sure that you have a visual reminder on your phone or your computer or your fridge, just a picture that reminds you of your goal. And then the second thing is visualize every single night before going to bed for 3 minutes. What is it gonna cost you but to just play with your imagination a little bit? Just what is it gonna feel like when I get to my goal? What are the things that I'm gonna do? And feel that, get into that state. And then when you wake up in the morning, repeat the process. And that's all I have for you today. If you found some value in the video, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I like to post videos like this regularly. I also like to focus on doing a lot of healthy and super tasty recipes that are gonna help you get to your weight loss and body transformation goals. And I'll see you on the next one.